Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, their head coach has got to believe it in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so When they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The numbers for Zeke from last week. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200-plus?
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yeah. Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Prescott down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah,
and it'll be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 14 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And out now come the Cowboys. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd gone to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hurns, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Play action. It's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 10-zip our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. From the gun, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. To throw is Wilson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Wilson. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite-level production.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He finds Hearns left side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On On third down, it's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. It's caught right side. It turns. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. A first down throw for Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Twisting away. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They look at this tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. In on the stop, Bradley McDougald. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Elliott. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. Jared Goff has a touchdown pass. Next, we'll stay in the NFC West as we head up to Northern California and check on the Niners at home in Santa Clara. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Tyler Boyd, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Sam Darnold, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Escaping the pressure right, and it's incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing is Wilson. He'll buy some time right, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
His throw caught right around the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Wilson will throw again. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
It's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson rolling to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Here's Wilson, and he goes out right around the 39. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
On 3rd down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
Here's Carson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Wilson steps away to his left. Man open left side is Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson flushed out right. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Zebra. Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Flashed a nifty move, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, Wilson buying time to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On the counter, Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there on third down. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The give to Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. A second down throw for Prescott. This is caught by Hearns. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Tip carry now for Elliott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for third and goal. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Dances by him. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
So they're going to decline that and choose to bring up second down.
So did you feel like maybe this is just a mistake that they don't take the penalty
possibly.
here? Either that or they feel like their defense just cannot be moved on very well, and they'd rather go ahead and use the downs.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's second and long. Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play.
Tempo, tempo.
Now Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing now is Wilson, being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a one-point victory. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Seahawks, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire